AI isn't just for techies. It can actually help simplify standard daily tasks for everyone, from parents to seniors to even people who don't have any family. Even when you're all by yourself, you can actually utilize AI to help you make your daily tasks seem not so tedious. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 new ways that AI can actually make your life simpler and easier with these daily tasks that you have on your to-do list. Now, do you keep a to-do list? Because I do, and the to-do list sometimes takes up a 3-ring binder. So we're going to be talking about these 5 ways, and here we go. Remember, I'm Bonnie from Simple AI for Families, and I'm here to help you learn the simple ways that AI can make your life easier, both at home, with your children, if you're parents with your children, if you're grandparents, if you're a senior just trying to figure out how to make life a little bit easier in these chaotic times, or you're just trying to figure out how AI will fit in your life as we're steamrolling towards this huge development in our generation, or all generations. Okay. So the first one is managing your schedule. This one is so big because I use this one and I used to think, oh, it's not a big deal, but there are some really great tools out there. Like for instance, Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, these are great. Google Calendar is free with your Gmail account if you have one. Apple Calendar, I believe, is free with your, like if you have a Mac or you have an iPhone. They have AI features associated with them and they can automatically organize your events and remind you of upcoming appointments. I don't want you to be confused though. AI is not automation and we have a video about that. When it organizes your events, like when it makes recommendations or it's like, hey, this looks like it might belong in the client section or in your family section, or hey, this looks like you had this the last 3 weeks, so maybe we should make this a recurring event. That is when it's artificial intelligence and it is helping you try to figure out where things go. That is automation. So both are great, but AI is more learning based and automation is more like a task oriented thing that you set up. That is automation. Again, AI is more about its learning. So it'll say, hey, you went to church the last 4 weeks in a row. Do you want to go this week? And make sure you put it on your appointment as a recurring task. That's how you use AI and how you use automation in scheduling. AI can also suggest times for meetings or tasks based on your habits. I use some really cool apps. One of them that I use is Akaflow. I don't recommend it for just like standard personal use. I use it for business and across all of the blogging and homeschooling and stuff that we need. And what it does is it's like, hey, just letting you know you have a 4-hour gap here. Did you want to fill that with deep focus time? Or did you want to do some planning in there? Or is there something else from your backlog that on your Trello cards that you would like to input here? So it kind of has a dialogue with me and discusses with me what I want to do to make my goals. It actually discusses with me the ways that I can further my goals versus just hitting up this dead time and not knowing what to do with it. Have you ever had that? So that's a really great way. Now, when we send reminders, again, it's letting you know, hey, this is happening. It's coming up. One thing that I really like is they'll say something to me like, hey, this appointment was canceled. Would you like to create another appointment or would you like to fill in the blank? That's really a great thing that you can do inside of your daily tasks and schedulers. Sometimes if you're like me, I get so overwhelmed with everything I have to do that if I have downtime, I'll sit there and stare at my calendar until it tells me, oh, time to work on the next thing. So there's some really great uses that you can use AI for and automation for inside of your, like how to manage your schedule and keep things on track. It is also really helpful when you are converging multiple calendars into the consideration of one. So I have my daughter who's married. I have her calendar associated in. I have the family calendar. I have client calendar. I have my publishing calendar. I have my blog calendar and I have my business calendar. Personal is also a separate one, but I've tended to put my personal stuff on the family stuff. All of those calendars actually will create busy spots if one is blocked at a time frame versus another. That is one great way that automation and AI help me in managing all of these calendars because it will send out a notification to everybody who is on the family calendar that this event's going to happen. That would be automation, but the AI will be like, hey, just so you know, the family calendar has this thing that came up and it actually contests with an appointment that you have. Would you like me to reschedule the appointment? I have the family calendar as priority, so anything that it wants to do over the other stuff, it will recommend that I clean that slate so I can fit the family event in there. So that is a great way to use AI as managing your schedule. Okay, so number 2, and this one is, I think you're probably already using this one, but just to make sure that you're aware, online shopping recommendations, also in-person shopping recommendations. We'll get to that, but let's talk a little bit about what this is. AI-powered shopping platforms like Amazon analyze your past purchases and browsing habits to recommend products tailored to your needs. I think this is so great because it's like, hey, you've been ordering protein powder every 3 weeks for the past 6 years. Do you want to keep ordering it? And it will pop it up. Another one that does this is Sam's Club. I'll go into Sam's Club and they have the app, right? And you're shopping and you just kind of scan it. And it'll say when I'm at the end of the door and it's like, hey, you want to check out? Did you forget these items? And it looks at past history and it's like, hey, you forgot to get a gallon of milk, or hey, don't forget your Fairlife. Like, it tells me the things that I'm like, I did forget that. So it's actually really helpful. AI can be really, really helpful when it's trying to, help you in these small areas, because my grocery list isn't always perfect, which I wish it was, but it's not. So it is helpful. There are some things where it takes the trudgery out of it. And so I really like when it's like, hey, did you remember to get cottage cheese? Oh, I forgot cottage cheese. So I got to go back and get it. Sometimes I wish it wouldn't remind me because I don't want to have to go back through the chaos to get a thing of grapes, right? But I do it. So that's one great way. And so online or in person, whenever you're using an app or whenever you're using like access to the internet, it actually is learned based off of your experience and stuff. Another thing that's hilarious is everybody knows this when you get on Facebook or you get on some of these platforms and they're like, you suddenly start seeing all these ads for things you've been talking about and things that you've been searching for. The one thing that really irritates me is when I've already purchased the car and it's like, here's a whole bunch of ads for cars. And it's like, but I've already purchased it. I don't need any more. That just gives me like the regret, like the purchase regret that they talk about. Online recommendations works really well if you're going to be ordering things online, which I do a lot of, or if I'm going to be like doing like an order pickup where I'm going through and scanning at Sam's Club. So it can actually save you time by finding you the best deals as well. There are some really great like Google Chrome apps and tools and things on there where it's like, hey, we found a coupon code here that was on the internet just so you can get a percentage off, right? So there's like a lot of great things out there that can actually help you, but it also is something that you need to consider. You need to remember that you are giving access for these programs to remember you when you have an account. So if you did it as a guest, it would not do that. It wouldn't be able to remember you. So just something to keep in mind. But it is great to be able to be like, yeah, I don't want to have to search through thousands of options. Where's the white button-up shirt that I bought my kid 3 weeks ago that he's already destroyed with ketchup? Another example would be if you've purchased like a coffee maker, right? And now your AI is recommending accessories, coffee beans, and new models. I think that's really a great useful tool, especially as someone who uses these things. Like I said, I order things like sugar-free stuff and it'll say, hey, did you see this new item? And I'm like, yeah, I did not see that. That's terrific. So it can be really helpful. Number 3 is voice assistants. Now, I've talked about this in the past. I don't generally like voice assistants, but that doesn't mean that they can't be helpful. I know a lot of people who use them and they really like that. And I think that's great. I am constantly talking all the time. I have client calls. I'm recording all the time. I'm doing other business aspects where I'm talking a lot. And I feel like if I had a voice assistant, they would probably think I was talking to them and there would be absolute and utter chaos. So for me, voice assistant does not work as well, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because I do think it's important. So voice assistants like Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant can help you do different things hands-free. And I do love that. In fact, in some of my short videos, you'll notice, and some of my longer videos, you'll notice that I do have some conversations with ChatGPT versus just typing them in. Because when you're sitting there typing on your phone with your finger, it's not as easy as it is with a keyboard, at least for me. So when I'm chatting with chat on my computer, it's all hands. But when I'm talking to him on the phone, I will actually like do voice chat with him and have conversations. And it's usually by that time I'm not working anymore. So I'm trying to do something that has to do with helping my family or helping myself. Like, hey, chat, what are we having for dinner tonight? Like that kind of a thing is a lot easier to do by voice. So I will be showing you some of those things, but you can ask them to set alarms. You can check the weather, play music, or even add things to your shopping list, all while you focus on other tasks. I have also seen AI like smart refrigerators, which is so cool. I want to get one just for the fact that I want to be like, hey, yo, fridge. I don't know what they call it, but yo, fridge, how much chocolate do I have and why don't I have more? So I have plans. I have plans for dominating the world with my smart refrigerator. And I think you should too. But tomorrow, like let's say, for example, if you get an Alexa or you have Google Assistant, ask it something like, Alexa, set a reminder to take the trash out. Or, hey, Siri, what's the weather tomorrow? I think that there's a lot of great ways that you can use automation and AI in your daily tasks. And this is definitely one of them. Saving your hands from the thumb scrolling and the carpal tunnel wear out, those types of things are super great ways that we can actually utilize these tools without killing our hands, okay? And the fourth one, I really like the fourth one. I live in an older home, so it's really hard to implement some of these things, but I do love the idea of them. This is number 4 is automating home devices. Again, like I said, we don't have something where we can AI via our thermostat, but I love the idea behind it. I do have a Bluetooth style stove, and I can like set it up so that it will start and stop. I just haven't gotten culinary smart enough to do it. But AI can help control home devices like smart lights, thermostats, and even refrigerators, like with apps like Amazon Alexa, those types of things. And the way it helps you is it actually helps you set schedules to turn lights on and off, adjust the temperature automatically, or even order groceries when you're running low. Remember, if I had a fridge, I would seriously tell it to constantly keep it full of chocolate items. One of my favorite things is the huge chocolate cake at Sam's Club. I'd be like, yo, fridge, why don't we have 2 more of these in the fridge? I don't understand what's going on. So I think that you can train these things and have it be to where your life's just a little bit more enjoyable, because we're adults and we should be starting our day with cake. There's nobody policing this, y'all. Nobody. Okay, so another one would be the 5th one that I would want to talk about. This is 5 that I'm talking about. This is just talking about 5 examples, okay? And so this 5th one is content recommendations for entertainment. I really like this idea because it does say like, hey, you've been watching this. This is for, if you like this, you'll like this one. However, it does get kind of muddy when everybody in the household, so we have 8 people, 9 people at a time here. And when you have different likes and dislikes, my daughter really likes horror. I'm not the biggest fan of it. So I'll jump onto Netflix or jump onto Prime, and it's like, hey, because you watched this. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. Number 1, I didn't watch that. Number 2, I don't want to see these recommendations, but it does make really good recommendations on the ones that I like. And it actually brings up some great ones from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I am talking the rom-coms that like flooded everything that we watched. You remember like Failure to Launch, that type of thing. Super awesome. Streaming services though, like Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, they all use AI to recommend TV shows, movies, and music based on your preferences. One of my favorite things lately is, so it's hilarious because my kids will watch a little bit of like Fortnite shorts on my phone. And I'll be like, hey, who was on my phone last? You guys were like watching Fortnite. No, we weren't. There's like 10 hours of recommended Fortnite shorts on my phone. I'm like, yes, you did, because I don't watch Fortnite shorts. But when I do get started watching my shorts, it brings up whatever I'm watching. Lately, I've been on this huge binge where I'm like watching people crochet. I just want to watch it. And so people are crocheting. And so I've got all of these recommendations on crocheting shorts. I should just have my mom like create a whole bunch of these so I can just watch them myself. But literally what these do is they learn your taste, and then it suggests contents that you like, saving you a lot of time searching. So yeah, I'm a little bit high maintenance in what I would want for like my recommendations from entertainment. I think we can be, right? Like we're in this stage right now where we really need to know what it is that we like and what we don't like so that we can make recommendations for our AI or train our AI so that it knows exactly what we're looking for. Okay, and I just want to make sure that we have let's go over those 5 again. We've talked about how to manage your schedule with AI. We've talked about online shopping recommendations, voice assistants, automating home devices, as well as content recommendations for entertainment. And I just think that it's really important that we understand what the options are out there, because I honestly didn't know that Fitbit had an AI like incorporated into it. It was actually attached to my Google, and I was making all of these, I was doing steps and stuff, and then it started dinging me. I was getting like notifications, hey, you haven't walked very much today. What's going on? And I was like, dude, you're bossy. Like, where is this coming from? And I had to do some research and realized, oh, it's using AI to actually get to know me and to make these recommendations for a healthier me. But I wasn't ready for it. I feel like right now, a lot of us are kind of being thrown into this AI world and we're not sure what's going on. So I really believe in educating ourselves and making sure that we're understanding from a basic concept what AI is and how it can help us, as well as how it can hinder us. So when you know something and you understand something, you have a better likelihood of actually being able to control it and how you use it in your life. Set up your boundaries now because you understand things so that you can actually keep those boundaries strong for your normal life. I want you to really explore some of these tools today, and I want you to see how much easier it can make your day and if it's something that you want to do. Okay, why don't you comment below and let me know how you're already using AI in your life and how you think it might help you, and let me know what you're doing to make a couple of your tasks just a little bit easier. Hit like and subscribe. We're going to be covering a lot more things for a beginner standpoint on AI. This is not just for techies, guys. This is going to be for everybody, and you need to get ahead of the curve.